Hey,
Gotcha.
David.
Hello.
Oh,
Hey.
thank God you're here. Okay, good. Here he is.
Nomad was doing such a good job trying to fill the fluff. David, welcome to the IBC Gang channel. We're so grateful to have you on so that we can discuss Babylon. Our smooth brains, we're trying to transfer over the conversation of what you guys are trying to do within the space. But if you wouldn't mind giving us your brief introduction of who you are and what Babylon is, I would greatly appreciate it.
Okay, great. Oh, so I thought it starts at 8 o'clock, but I guess
It's
we're
Nomad's
starting
fault.
a little bit earlier.
We're blaming Nomad.
Oh, okay. No worries. I'm here. Hi, I'm David. Good morning from the West Coast. Um, so yeah, the Babylon project was started about a year ago. It came out from research at Stanford. So I'm a professor at Stanford University. So I run a research group on blockchain consensus protocol.
Mhm.
And this research led to this project that we're now working on for about a year. And the goal is to bring Bitcoin security not only for Bitcoin, but for the rest of the blockchain world. And in particular, in the past few months, we've been working hard in the Cosmos ecosystem to bring Bitcoin security to Cosmos chains.
Nice. But we were just talking about earlier how I think this is going to be extremely beneficial. Um, if you don't mind me asking, we're such big cosmonauts here on this channel, obviously. Uh, I think I already know this answer, but if you could explain to anybody that may be watching this later, because we're going to download part of this and put it on YouTube, why did you guys pick to focus in Cosmos first?
Yeah, so our project is goal is to provide security. And I think our project works very well with the Cosmos app chain thesis because the app chain thesis is the idea of building application specific layer ones, blockchains. And it is a very natural to try to create methods to provide additional security to these chains because application specific chains, some of them may not have a very big validated set. And so additional security is always welcome. And so that's one reason why we focus on the Cosmos ecosystem. That's number one. Number two is we figure out from a technology point of view that the best way of bringing Bitcoin security to many, many Cosmos chains simultaneously is to use IBC. So IBC, as people know, is a way of communicating important messages between blockchains, and most of these messages typically are some sort of token transfer. And so we figure out that IBC can actually be used also to do security transfer, transferring security. In this case, Bitcoin security transfer to Babylon, which is a Cosmos chain, and through Babylon, use IBC to transfer the security to the entire Cosmos world.
So I have up here one of your guys's previous posts, which I think illustrates in a very simplistic way how you guys are going to be going about doing this. I don't know if you guys, I know there's a little bit of lag, but hopefully you guys can see this chat. Babylon is like it's saying here more of an aggregator of sorts when it comes to the transfer or the utilization of security, right?
Yes. So shall I elaborate a bit on that point?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. So yes, so in principle, any individual chain can directly communicate with Bitcoin to get the Bitcoin security. However, there are two reasons why that is not a very good idea. The first reason, and the reasons is very much tied to the fact that Bitcoin has a very low throughput. And Bitcoin miners do not like people put in arbitrary stuff. They want basically Bitcoin transaction. So what Bitcoin miners do allow is a very small type of transaction called OP return, which is 48 bytes. So you can put 48 bytes of arbitrary data onto the Bitcoin chain. And so it's quite difficult to compress the stuff that you need to put on the Bitcoin chain in order to get the Bitcoin security. So what Babylon does is it optimizes the technology to achieve this task. That's number one. So in other words, it is doing the hard work on behalf of any chain that wants to use Bitcoin. Number one. Number two is that by doing this, we can also simultaneously aggregate across many chains. So in other words, many chains, each chain will connect to Babylon through IBC, but Babylon will only do one work. In other words, it will only put this OP return transaction in for everybody on behalf of everybody. So now that means that the system will scale. If Cosmos now as 1,500 chains becomes 500, 1,000 chains later on, then the amount of footprint needed to put on the Bitcoin chain remains the same, no matter how many chains is using the service. So that's sort of why we call it an aggregator.
Yeah. Okay. So while you're explaining, I see a lot of people in chat saying, interesting. This sounds great and whatnot. This is like I think they understand or maybe are conceptualizing or projecting forward of how big this actually could be for not only the Cosmos ecosystem, but for crypto in general. And like, even, things that are not yet connected via IBC, that eventually, I think, obviously we're kind of front running that narrative, being the IBC gang and being cosmonauts. We obviously all think that eventually the vast majority of the crypto will be interconnected via hopefully IBC. But there are so many projects. I mean, we all know, right, that Bitcoin is the most decentralized, is the most, when we're talking about, and then, we could go into the weeds about this stuff, but like there's so many chains out there right now throughout the greater landscape of crypto that would find benefit from utilizing an aggregator like Babylon. Like this could be absolutely massive as far as a beneficial protocol that's like providing a real function, a real, like, security is value in my eyes. And like, I don't know. I want to kind of like just project that out to the chat. That's humongous. This is humongous to me, at least. And this is why I found it really, really interesting. When I first heard about you guys, like this is the kind of work that I'm fully supportive and can get behind 1,000%. So I think, man, this is really cool, David and Nomad. By the way, so happy that you guys were able to pick up Nomad. First off, she's a great person, a doll of a person. Can't speak nothing but great positive things about her. I think you guys found an absolute gem when it comes to her. So I'm so happy that she's working alongside with you guys to bring this. I'm going to ask and just be kind of straightforward. I know Nomad was kind of giving us a softball of like expectations, lowering us down with expectations, but can you tell the people like where you guys are in this process? Is there going to be information as far as tokenomics? Is there going to be a token? Like, what does your guys' timeline look like? Where are you guys at with everything?
Yeah, so right now we are working towards our testnet, which we will launch in about a few weeks, probably beginning of February. So on this testnet, we are doing a integration with 5 to 8 Cosmos chains, mainly Cosmos chains. At least I should say maybe IBC compatible chains. Most of them were Cosmos chains, and so that's the testnet we're building. And then we will be working out. So to be direct, the tokenomics right now is in the initial phase, so we have not worked out the details yet in terms of tokenomics. But indeed, we do aim to launch the network at some point later this year with a token, yes.
Nice. Yeah, of course, everybody, Chicken Tacos asks, you guys they want to know, is it going to be incentivized? Have you guys thought about that? Everybody asks the same question.
So
is
the
it
initial
incentivized?
The initial testnet is not incentivized,
Okay.
but we hope to roll an incentivized testnet later. The initial testnet is a technical testnet, so it's testing out the integration with these 5 to 8 partner chains that we're working with.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind, could you talk a little bit about the team?
Yeah. Okay. So the team right now has 11 people, and So the co-founder of this team is myself and our CTO, Fisher. So Fisher is from Australia, so he's in Australia, and he is leading the engineering team. So right now the team mainly is engineers with oh, by the way, when you talk about Nomad,
Yeah.
it was so great that we met up with her. And in fact, she only started collaborating with us the past week, but she's already been doing a lot of stuff for us. So I'm
She's great.
really
She's great. Yeah.
excited about this. So Nomad, and we also have another BD person, Trudy, and so those are our right now the BD marketing team, small, but we're hoping to grow that effort as well. So hey, since we are here, I would like to do a sort of advertisement is that we are looking for more people to join the BD marketing partnership effort. And so if anyone is interested, please DM us. We'd love to talk to you.
Can I raise my hand right now, David? Can I? IBC gang and Tank right here is very interested.
I can't see you raising your hand. Yeah. I can't see you raising your hand, but I can imagine. Yes. So, by the way, the engineering team is very distributed. It's all over the world. We have, I think, a total of about, I don't know, 5 or 6 time zones. So every time we meet, it's really quite challenging to find a time that works for everybody. Yeah. So that's our team. We have about 11 people right now. Small team, but
awesome.
Growing.
Yeah, I see. I was going through this earlier, and I saw a lot of engineers. Like it was amazing, and that was the kind of one of the first things I saw of how I was just assumptions, right? But I was just assuming of how diverse and spread about the engineer team is just based on the names that I was seeing. It looks like it's probably quite a bit of a challenge, but it looks like you guys are well diverse. It looks like your guys' credentials, like including yourselves, obviously you guys are very smart individuals. Before this, if you don't mind me asking for for Fisher, yourself, and I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your lead research scientist name, so I'm not even going to try, but where did you guys come from before blockchain, before crypto? So that the team, so people could maybe know a little bit about you guys.
Sure. So before crypto, I have been doing research in wireless communication. Actually, that was my main research area before I entered crypto. Now, we all know that everyone has a cell phone nowadays, right? But many years ago, very few people have cell phones. Surprising, huh?
Actually, when you think about it, it really wasn't that long ago. I'm old enough to
know. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I'm over 40, so like I can reflect, and some people that watch the channel might not know, but it really wasn't that long ago, guys.
Yeah, actually, wireless cell phone technology is probably one of the most fast-growing, if not the most fast-growing in the history of mankind. When it went through about 2 decades from almost zero penetration to 3 or 4 billion now. So it's quite amazing. And actually, I was lucky enough to be there at the early phase of this infrastructure development of the wireless infrastructure. A lot of my research has been focused on improving this infrastructure. Believe it or not, the capacity of communicating on a cell phone went up a factor of about, 50 to 100 in terms of efficiency over this 2 decades of development. So part of my research went into this technology, and that was before. That's how I got excited about infrastructure. So a few years ago, wireless is becoming rather mature. Everyone has a cell phone. And so I was looking for the next big thing in terms of infrastructure development. And that's how I stumbled onto blockchain as a really exciting area for doing basic research into infrastructure. Blockchain is kind of an early stage. So that's how I got into this area.
It's really funny. I find that I've spoken to many people, and it not everybody, but it definitely is somewhat of a theme that people that were in the communication industry earlier on, like cell phones and whatnot, it seems to always pique everybody's interest, and a lot of you guys have kind of like found your way here because I think it's so like transferable and relatable, right? Like you're basically throughout the whole peak of your interest and development of your previous careers or whatnot, it's all just packets of information being transferred, right? And it's the same thing with blockchain technology, where it's either a source of value, but it's all packets of information being transferred. So it's just, I find it funny that a lot of you guys have all like, it seems to all lead you guys down the same path. But yeah, I love it. So what about?
Actually, in addition to, you might me say a word.
Sure.
Shall I call you Crypto Tank? Is that how I should call you, or you have another name?
You can call me Tank. Everybody calls me Tank.
Tank.
Yeah.
So maybe I want to say one more word. In addition to being also a communication needs in the blockchain, obviously, because we have a decentralized system. But I think one thing very interesting, which is sort of similarity between blockchain and communication, is that in both cases, we're trying to build reliable system out of the fact that individual parts of the system is unreliable, right? So in a blockchain system, you're always worried that there will be some attacker that would make some of these nodes behaving badly. So in other words, you want the overall system to be reliable, although the individual components are not reliable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the case in communication. That's the case in blockchain as well. So that's one very sort of deep similarity.
Yeah, and I see it all just coming together in my mind. At least I feel like I can really understand your point of view and where you've come from and your projection of hopefully where you guys end up going, and why you've, again, for many reasons, picked the Cosmos, because I think the Cosmos ecosystem, obviously work on interoperability and communicating, and again, just like you said, creating an umbrella of sort of a network that is reliable, but each individual chain within it is not reliable about that. They can independently operate. So again, it's just really fascinating to see how everything kind of just synergetically comes together at some point or another. Or hopefully at the end all be all, we will all come together very nicely. But I absolutely, not to take up too much of your time, I would love to take up more later. Love what you guys are doing though. Absolutely love what you guys are doing. Phenomenal project. Super, super interested. I know I said, I know you can't see it, but I'm raising my hand. I would like to throw my hat in there with the IBC gang to spread more awareness of what Babylon is trying to accomplish. And we would like to be, I'm just going to put it out there, guys. You guys know me. I don't pull any punches. I would like to be involved. I would like to be involved.
So I really appreciate that. I can tell you that, we are a bunch of tech nerds, okay, to be honest about it. We're a bunch of tech nerds. We are not trained to do, marketing, selling ourselves. So any support from folks like you who are excited about what we do, really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. That's, I'm not a tech nerd. I'm smooth brain. So I will definitely help you guys out on that. But
Okay.
David, Nomad, I don't want to take up too much more of you guys' time. We try to keep it, at least I'm trying to do better with keeping it on a tight ship timetable with my ship here. So I'm going to float my boat and wrap this up. But I would like to touch base with you guys further, like I said, and do what we can to promote Babylon and get involved with you guys. So I will definitely be reaching out to Nomad and yourself and hopefully speaking to you guys in the future a lot more often, possibly, hopefully. But yeah, we appreciate you guys coming on the show.
So Nomad, is there anything you want to add? Are you still here? Okay, maybe Nomad's gone.
Did she leave? Yeah, she dropped off. But David,
No worries.
Thank you very, very much. And if you don't mind, I'll reach out to you and Nomad, like I said, and hopefully we can get the ball rolling on getting the word out for you guys.